Shalom. I want to say all praises and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Um, my name is, I'm just going to keep my name off camera, man. You know, I say my name Angelo, you feel me? Um, I'm just a believer of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. I learned under Great Millstone, which has the 1,000% truth. And all those Akim and from the apostles all the way down to the younger men, they have the truth 1,000%. And it is what it is. That's the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, and that's what it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Forever in a day, right? But I just want to give a little lesson. I was, sometimes, and y'all brothers see it, brothers have made countless videos of the sleep paralysis and things of that, you know what I'm saying? Usually sometimes it be at night where you getting attacked by, the demonic forces, demons, and so to speak. And but I don't really think nobody really talk about like the opposite of it, where it can happen in daytime, it can happen in daytime, so to speak. And I would just sleep. I would sleep on the bed, laying flat, yeah, when our loved ones die, our relatives, they go into the spirit world, you know what I'm saying? And today it kind of, today, today, this morning, it didn't feel like no demonic attack, you know what I'm saying? Today it felt like my mother, you know what I'm saying? As I was laying down, I just, get a soft, gentle tap on my shoulder, and it said, boo. Now, my mama, when she was here, she don't call me boo. She'd be like, hey, son, or, she always said, hey, son. You know what I'm saying? That was one of her lines, as I got older, it went from Buddha to boo. But, I don't think the Akim talk about the opposite side. We always talking about and always hear about the demonic forces, but, and I could be wrong. And, but you don't ever hear about, like, maybe your relatives coming to visit you, or, you know what I'm saying, your parents or somebody like that. But, yeah, man, I was laying on my bed in a soft, because usually, when it's a demonic attack, you usually, when you getting attacked, you can't breathe or hold down on your chest, and you call upon the name, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, and this morning, I didn't do that. I didn't panic, you're not supposed to panic, but usually you be like, oh, shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, get this damn demon off me, you know what I'm saying? You get to calling upon a name, but this morning, it wasn't necessary to come. It wasn't necessary to call upon a name, because it was like gentle. It wasn't like meant to like put you in fear or have you panic. It was just like a gentle love type, like out of love. You know what I'm saying? And so, like I said, as I was laying down, I felt, of course I'm asleep, and I felt the touch on my left shoulder, and I heard the voice, hey boo, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, damn, bro, I really miss my mom, you feel me? And so, I'm just here to say this, like, it ain't always you ain't always getting demonic attacked if you don't wake up panic in panic mode, or you like, oh shit, I can't breathe, you know what I'm saying? This morning, it wasn't none of that. And so, yeah, man, I just want to talk about the opposite side of it, the opposite demonic, well, you can say, I guess you could say angelic, or a pleasant spirit, where it's not bothering you. And I give another account to where I think my mom had just passed away, and I was like in a depressive state, and I heard my mama voice said, like a soft whisper in my ear, just she said, "Son, get up." You know what I'm saying? I just heard her get up. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, man, I just want to give it balance to we always hear about demonic attacks. Maybe other brothers do cover the same thing about what I'm talking about. I just haven't heard it. And then it's all good. But yeah, man, let me go ahead and get a scripture, man. This is going to be Colossians 1:16. For by him were all things created that are in heaven and that are in earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. All things were detected by him and for him. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? I was just on... I was just, playing with the Google and all that, just... I didn't know no scriptures off the top of my head, regarding the spiritual realm. So I'm like, man, you know what? Let me play with this Google and try to find something close to it. Maybe something come up. You know what I'm saying? And usually, because the opposite of when you getting attacked by demonic forces, because it's true though. Like we could get Ephesians 6:12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. And we going into the Passover, and you think, you know what I'm saying? You got the elites of this world, doing all kind of wickedness and all kind of shit being it's gonna be going on, invisible things that you cannot, you don't got no control of, you cannot see. And it's crazy though, cause like I've been out working shit and motherfuckers been acting like weird, hella fucking weird and shit, you know what I'm saying? And I be ready like, excuse my language, which I'm not gonna act out on it, but man, I be wanting to slap a bitch, you know what I'm saying? Cause these bitches be out of control, having little attitudes and shit, man, you know what I'm saying? And I be really have to catch myself like, bitch, who the fuck you be talking to? And motherfuckers, think they just be like, on some like, motherfuckers be, they be on this, motherfuckers, these bitches be with these jobs, cause I do security, and these bitches be like on some like security, tough shit, you know what I'm saying? Top flight security, you know what I'm saying? Y'all seen our movie next Friday, Ice Cube and Mike Epps, you know what I'm saying? Be on some other ass shit, like on some asshole shit. And me, I'm really just be chill, laid back, you feel me? But yeah, these bitches be young and shit, but motherfuckers just be acting weird, man. Usually I'm cool, calm, and laid back, you dig what I'm saying? But, and I didn't get out of character. I just looked at the bitch like, you stupid as fuck, you feel me? Like, bitch, if we was outside this job, bitch, you wouldn't be talking to me like that, bitch. I'd slap the shit out your ass. But, or even, I don't discriminate, go for men, too. You dig what I'm saying? Motherfuckers that, be talking crazy, you know what I'm saying? But it's usually these punk-ass bitches, though, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, man, I just really wanted to come to the camera with a lesson like this, man. And, yeah, man, sometimes it ain't always sometimes it's not always, at least in my experience, I can't speak for nobody else's experience. So let me go and say that. But, sometimes, the spiritual warfare and the spiritual realm, it's not always a demonic attack. Usually it could be pleasant sometimes. And that's just my testimony. I want to say, Shalom and all praises and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah. Peace.